on Twitter the other day, so let's wait for the notifications. So I just found this on Twitter, so I had to save this, man. So let me go ahead and play this, and then we can go ahead and introduce ourselves from there. If I can find the play button. All right, so I just got the notification, so. Here we go.
This is what we look like.
Can y'all hear
this before? This is what black people look like all over California. It could represent black fraternities, sororities, black churches, black organizations. And what you will notice about these beautiful, educated, money black people, Aubrey, is that everybody's doing their own thing. Caught up in a Eurocentric value of rugged individualism, survival of the fittest. It's a trick. There is no power here, brothers and sisters. Willie Lynch understood this. This is where all the power is. Whether you're at the center of your own network or part of other networks, this is where all the power is. There's a beautiful African proverb that says that when spiders unite, they can tie up a lion.
Yeah, man, I had to save that from TikTok, man. I thought that was a gem. I had to save that on my phone, man. So we're gonna start there. We ain't gonna react to it, but then kind of let's go and get the introduction, and let's kind of be the theme of the night, man. That web, man, that network. I always preach that network, man. That's what we're doing with this podcast, man. This is where the power at. I don't know how we got convinced in everybody's strong on their own. It never was like that throughout history. It's always been conglomerates, man, and people networking, men getting together, and nations getting together, and so on and so forth. So I don't know how we got convinced we could do everything by ourselves, man. So I don't know where we got sold on that. But CJ, you want to start it off? Or you want me to start it off? Let's see. I got y'all kind of inverted today, so let's start with CJ.
Yeah, I'm on the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Drinking up all the kids' Capri Suns over there.
Upgraded. Don't tell my girls. I drink them when they're not here.
Right. So, CJ, you want to kick it off on the introductions?
All right.
All right.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's CJ, the realtor broker owner of Greenwood Realty Group down here in Houston, Texas. Give me a follow on social media at CJ Sales Texas. That is CJSELLSTX. And let's collab, see how we can help each other. Check out the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. We have all the information on there if you want to find out what's available on the market. If you're interested in finding out what your home is worth, or if you're an agent looking to join a team, have all that for you online. So go check out the website at greenwoodrealtytx.com. Of course, we got the YouTube channel, CJ the Realtor, and we have multiple things on there. We have our Lux edition of our home tour, showing you some of the available luxury homes, not just in Houston, but surrounding areas. We have our local business highlights, business owner highlights, where we're interviewing some of the business owners locally in Houston, and a lot of other gems on there. So give a subscribe, a share, a follow, give me some comments. I need all that. And then, of course, we definitely give back. So our mentorship program, the Mansa Academy, where we teach our young men knowledge of self-improvement and entrepreneurship. If you want more information on that, go to the mansaacademy.org.
Gotcha. Barry B.
All right. This is Barry B. You can, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the Houston and surrounding areas, you can give me a call at 832-786-1270, or you can go to homesbybarryb.com or go into Google and Google homesbybarryb.com, and you'll get all my social media platforms. If you want to connect with me and talk about your goals, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X. I'm on all of those. So give me a message, and let's talk about those goals for the year.
Gotcha, Patrick. I got you
All right.
queued up.
Good evening. Good evening. Patrick Chevalier III. I am a financial planner, independent planner. The name of my firm is Chevalier Wealth and Associates. You can learn more about us and our process at chevalierwealth.com, CHEVALIER, the word wealth.com. Definitely take a look at the website, as well as at Chevalier Wealth on our other social channels, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. Each week I drop jewels. I deliver a weekly market update, tell you what happened in the markets this past week, and what's to come this week, right? Things that everybody's watching. In addition to that, I deliver portfolio themes once a week, and that's where I deliver opportunities in the market based on hard facts. So you definitely want to see that if you're looking to grow, protect, and preserve your investable assets.
Gotcha. All right, and last but not least, we're waiting on two others to come pop on the panel, but it's Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210 at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Also, especially the YouTube at Billionaire Loan Officer is the handle. Subscribe. Please, if y'all like the show, please put people on. Tell them to watch us every Tuesday night. We probably got one of a kind channel. We started about a year ago, and we growing our audience. We got a small live audience, but we got to grow the live audience to triple digits and quadruple digits. And we need I know we got a couple hundred people that watch us on the replay, so we need y'all help to get that to a few thousand people watch us on the replay and a few thousand people watch us live. So we need y'all help to do it. So if y'all like the content, man, put people on. If anybody, it's not just for people buying a house. We talk about investments. We talk about our issues. We talk about all kind of different things, man. Wealth building, so on and so forth. So we need y'all help. If y'all like the show, please spread, like, subscribe, and please ask us questions, because we like to answer questions live. So we want to answer questions on the air. So my personal website is www.applywithb. If you want to book me for a consultation, or if you're ready to get a mortgage, you can go ahead and apply there. Also, don't forget, if you're trying to, I'm an agent as well, licensed real estate agent. So if you're trying to sell, you need to list your house, you need to get an investment property, you're trying to lease, or you're trying to buy a house, I can help you with all of the above and the finances. So all of the above. Also, last but not least, we got an investment club. So if you're trying to mitigate your risks, if you're trying to get into the investment game, go to my website, www.cocinvestmentclub.com. And you can join the club and help us mitigate some of this. Help us build wealth together. That's just like the theme of that first clip, man. It's all about your wealth. It's all about your network. Anybody want to comment on that clip before we get started in the show?
Yeah, I seen that a while ago, and
Right.
It's basically saying the same thing that we've been talking about.
Right.
Like, the whole collaboration over competition thing, how supporting each other. That's exactly what he's saying.
Man, we need to chop that up and make that like an intro. Like with
Yeah.
some music behind it. Yeah, make that our
Yep.
intro to our thing. Like chop that up, make that a 30-second intro.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I'm a history
Yeah.
buff, and I was watching The Men Who Built America, the Pioneer Edition, right?
Mhm.
And so they were talking about how the U.S. was expanding from the colonies all the way west to California, and they wouldn't have beat the Indians if all the colonies didn't join together. They were actually about to lose, expanding out west past the Mississippi River, if all the colonies didn't come together. And so when I saw that video, that's what it made me think about. It was like, they were this close to destruction, the 13 colonies, the USA, right? We wouldn't be here where we are today if all those colonies didn't join together to attack those Native Americans and drive them back. So that's what it made me think of, was like, hey, because I watched that recently.
Right.
So it is a powerful thing. It's a thought, but it is a powerful thing.
Right.
Yeah. You do things together, you're more powerful together.
Right. Instead of a web of a web take down the line, get caught in that net. So there's an old cliche as well. ox. A leech is nothing for ox, but if you get enough leeches on that ox, it can take that ox down. You know, so but you need to have enough force. You know, hyenas rolling packs and lions rolling packs, and that's the king of the jungle, and they rolling packs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it is what it is. Y'all ready for the first clip, man?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go get it started. Let me go ahead and roll it out. And let's go ahead and get started now. Y'all see this?
Yep.
Money at 7:00 p.m. All of us. The question is are you going to be like me at home eating dinner with my family, chilling because 8 of my 21 listings are being shown by other agents who do YouTube? Or are you going to be the one on social media who racks up the buyers and has to show property 24/7? Now you got to either do it yourself or bring on a buyer's agent. Who wants that? Not me. I'd rather just list properties and be super efficient with what I do, have a great quality of life, and knock down 100 deals a year on my own. How do I do that? Well, I have a choice. Do I go do YouTube videos or do I just call property owners? Because even if you do YouTube videos, you still got to, guess what? Talk to people. You're just doing the videos. So hopefully somebody reaches out and now we're in a conversation. Well, I don't have to do YouTube videos and wait on people to reach out to me. I can just pick the property I want to sell and call the owner right now for a penny. Here's the decision that we all have. Every single one of us as agents are going to go out and make money at 7:00 p.m. All of us.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure y'all seen the beginning. I was waiting for the debate, man. I wanted this is a big debate topic, man. I know it's polarizing on sides. I was waiting to hear Hyman take on this, man. So, this is a good debate topic right there. What do y'all think about this particular?
You know what? I don't think it's too much of a debate. It's people have their own way that they do their business.
Right.
You know, some people get on the phone and call all day. Some people make YouTube. Hey, I know some people doing YouTube videos that's selling. So that might not work for him, but it worked for the next person.
But hence he's
everybody has their own way to do that.
Well, he's telling you this on the video though.
I know he's telling me on a YouTube video.
Yeah, on the video. Yeah.
He's saying, "Do I want to be on a video making videos?" I mean, it's people that, like I say, on social media getting buyers, and so it's I think you got to find what works for you, and work on that.
Right. What you
he
think
might
about
not be good. He might not be good making videos. He probably tried it,
I think he's trying to say that it's superior. My take on it, I'll go ahead and give you my take. I think he's trying to say that his way is superior, where you setting up the listings, which I agree. You definitely want to go listings, but I definitely think that digital footprint is not not an option nowadays. It's mandatory because nobody watches TV anymore. As you can see with the NFL last week, we talked about last week, like they even sell their top games to subscription-based services. So it's all about subscription and on demand, and how do you even get regular TV anymore? So it's like you got to have a subscription or direct TV. I don't even know how you get regular TV anymore. So it's like, everything is social media. Everything is social media. Is tied to the hand. It's the dopamine hit. If you want to get in front of eyeballs, you got to have a digital footprint. I get what he's saying. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, you can do both.
Yeah, I think
or you can concentrate on one. Yeah,
he's doing both. He's doing the videos. He got a nice digital footprint, and people, And
now the listing part. Now, when I first got in, they said, "Yeah, that's what you want to focus on, listings. Right. You focus on listings, you'll get buyers. So you can get you want to focus on that. So I understand that, but hey, I'm spending while because if I use a YouTube video to get those same listings, I'm still making money while they showing my house at 7:00 at night.
Right. Well, and so he's using videos not to get buyers though, because he does coaching. So he does a video to attract agents.
Oh, that's what it is.
So that's his strategy. But like they say, you got to list to last in this business. The listings are leverage. Now, the fact that he may not want to go with buyers, that's on him. But like Barry said, everybody has their own pillars of how they generate leads and prospect and build business and build their pipeline. So it just depends on the person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think this. I'll let Patrick go ahead and answer, but I'll finish up in a second. But I'll let Patrick.
Yeah. So for somebody who's not living and dying and breathing real estate every day, what does listings mean? What does that mean?
So you're
To an
actually a
outsider.
listing agent putting the house on the market on the MLS. So you got the sign in the yard.
You're the one selling the house for the seller.
Yeah, you represent.
So that's
the
contacting. So he's talking about contacting somebody who wants to sell their property.
Yes.
And he's
Yep.
the guy that's putting, like you said, on the MLS, putting the sign in the yard, making the flyer saying, hey, you know, this 4-bed,
Yep.
3-bath, so on and so forth. Okay, got it.
And the
Yeah,
buyer's
I get it.
agent,
I
the
get it
buyer's
now.
agent is the agent that's with the buyer. He's the one that's talking. He's talking about he's going looking at different houses. You know, taking one buyer looking at 15 houses or 10 houses or whatever.
Yeah,
That's what he's talking
yeah.
about.
Well, thank you for the clarity there for everybody who's not in the business as deep as you guys. So for me, the first thing I thought about was, your business strategy. But one thing that comes to mind is the world that we live in now, right? It shifted from the seller having all the power to the buyer having all the power. And when I say that, I mean the buyer can pull out their phone, get on their iPad or get on their computer and research whatever it is they want, right? They can look up all these different properties that they want. They can watch videos like this guy. And so your sales process, you have to have those videos online because that's part of an inbound sales process. Those things are actually selling for you while you're eating dinner with your family at 7:00,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
When you do pick up the phone and you do that outbound, right? I'm talking about inbound. When you do that outbound, once that person hangs up the phone with you or looks at your email, the first thing they're going to do is Google you, right? And if
Right.
you don't have that data or that content out there, then they may move on to your competitor.
Yeah. Who are you?
Right.
Patrick sounds like he's been talking to me.
Well, it's the beginning of the year, and I've been running through my business processes, and so I'm on it. But so yeah,
Right.
it's not outbound anymore. That's 20, 30 years ago. That's what our
Right,
parents
exactly.
grew up on.
Right.
It's inbound now, but you do have to do that mix, and you do have to reach out and touch folks where they are, so that they can take a look and see that education and value that you're putting out in the marketplace.
Right. I'm a piggyback what you're saying to say this. With millennials, zillennials, and Generation Z, your digital footprint is like that line in front of the restaurant. If you don't have a digital footprint, it looks like the restaurant that's empty.
Right.
And if it is social pressure. So they want to be socially reaffirmed that you're a good choice. And the way they do that is through social media. So if everybody's commenting, you're lit, you're popping on social media, then hey, everybody can't be wrong. So that means you're a safe bet. So yes, if you have no digital presence and everything's even, everything's all the same, and somebody else does, if you don't have anything and your competitor does, they're gonna go to your competitor because they figure your competitor's a winner. And they want to go to the busy restaurant. They want to go to the hopping club. They want to go to, what everybody. The end thing is consensus. And that's what this is. It's peer pressure. So if you're not out here and you're not popping, it's almost like you fell off. I can see it too, like with how the algorithm design. If you take your foot off the gas, it's gonna slow down immediately. Mm-hmm. So you got to constantly be putting it, and it lines up for this next clip that I'm gonna put in as well. But my thing is social media is a necessary. Mm-hmm. Fabian, what's going on? Now, I'm gonna read this comment. This is from one of my boys here, man. I used to work with. Fabian. Say, have y'all heard of creative financing? And so, have you ever done a deal like that, man? I do creative finance. I made a living off of creative financing. I'm a broker, so I have 230 different banks. I made a living of getting people approved. So I don't get the deals that everybody else, the easy ones. I get the hard deals. So I got to get
Got to be
No, but
creative.
let me put a sidebar on it though. When I see creative, I don't do anything that's outside of the rule book though. Somebody a couple of years back misinterpreted that as meaning creative that I'm creating stuff. Nah. Creative meanings I'm getting creative within the due bounds of the rules.
Within the rules, within the law.
I'm not creating. Yeah, so I can get creative within the rules. That I'm not creating no documents. So let's get this all
Right. Right.
So
I want to piggyback on what Patrick said. I like what you said when you said after they get off the phone with you, what the first thing you're gonna do, or that person gonna do, is get online. And that's what I do. If I talk to a new company or whatever, I'm going straight to Google.
Right.
To see where are you, see if there's any reviews on you. I mean, and that's what people do.
That's what people do. I think it's almost like you're a creep if you don't have. I can't see your personality online. Like, man, what are you hiding? It's like I can't see you online. It's like if I'm gonna choose somebody else that's popping in that space.
So you off the grid? If you're off the grid, that means you don't want to know who you are.
It seems sketchy nowadays, man. Like I said, like what
getting catfished out here.
Yeah, it's like man, you don't want to be that guy that's made the wrong choice. So you want to choose what everybody else is choosing. So we want to see it. Everything is about showing it. That's why you got to have cameras on you at all time. They want to see everything now. This gets me to my next skit. Let's go into this next clip and keep these flowing, man. Keep this going because this all these kind of relate to one another. All right, let's go.
He was the wisest, wealthiest man who ever lived. One of the first things we see is Solomon started putting out content. And Solomon wrote 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. You want to be an author, you want to be a speaker, you want to be a coach, you want to have an agency, you want to be an influencer, you want to build a YouTube channel, you want to build an Instagram following. Have you created 3,000 posts? Have you created 1,000 videos?
Come on.
Everybody wants microwave this, drive through that, shortcut this, but Solomon put in the work. And in the content that he created, he didn't do anything elaborate. He taught uncommon lessons from commonplace things. I decided to build my business based on King Solomon's business model. He was the.
So I was just making sure y'all seen the beginning. So yeah, that kind of piggybacks the previous clip, man. I think it's about putting in the work. I love that analogy, man. King Solomon, man, put the wisest king of all, pretty much. He was a workaholic. I mean, he had 400 wives and concubines, so he had to be. He's a busy dude.
He had to bring that money home.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I think that's the perfect analogy of me. I try to keep busy. I try to outdo myself because don't forget, this is a blip. We think this 75 years or whatever we're going to be here. This is a blip in time, man. So I'm trying to maximize every day to try to put as much footprint out here as I can, because before you know it, it's going to be gone, man. We're not here. We're not here for that long, So why not, instead of taking from the world, why not give to the world? What can I give to the world? You know what I mean? So it's not about what
reciprocity.
Right. So like I'm gonna try to give stuff so that generations from now they can enjoy, they can learn. I'm trying to do something. Because it's all about what you create, that dash. Don't forget you got the born date, you got the end date, and that dash is you. So it's not what you say, it's what you do. And that during that time, and how this relates to social media is like, man, it's free. Why not? Yeah. Why not put that out there? Why sit there and watch everybody else and not participate?
And there's a quote, I don't know if verbatim, but it's like the quickest way to get what you want is to help somebody else get what they want.
Right. Right. I'll let y'all go ahead and chime in on the clip while I pull up this next one.
Yeah, I mean, you need that's the world we live in. I mean, looking at videos. Now I know it's talking about he said shortcuts, but I guess I'm thinking like shorts and stuff, but with videos, but those small videos, I mean, that's what people are looking at. I mean, you know, couple minutes, you can get your point across. It doesn't have to be elaborate. And that was one of the things. That's one of the things that I'm trying to that I'm gonna be working on, is trying to get, just put more content out, and it doesn't have to be some big long elaborate video, because most of the time people are not gonna watch if it's really long anyway.
Right.
So if you want to you know, get, like you say, get those people to see it or help somebody else, you know, you put that just put some small stuff out. And then when people contact you, then that's when you can go into the more detailed, okay, this is what you need to do and that. But you want to get them, like you say, helping people, helping them get, helping them accomplish their goals. You want to buy a house this year. Okay, great. These are the things that you need to do. Let's start working on it now. Bam, bam. And then when they want something specific, then hey, give me a call. Let's go sit down. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's talk about it. What specific things you need?
Right. Patrick, you want to chime in on that, or
Yeah,
CJ?
you guys made some really good points. What I was thinking of that you guys really didn't touch on too much was the marathon and putting the work in. Right. He talked about, you know, folks wanting that instant gratification.
Right.
You know, maybe do something once or twice, or maybe for a short period of time. But you know, it took me 15 years to get to where I am today. You know, when I think about it in retrospect. And so, you know, you really gotta look at things like that. If you first start off doing videos, as an example, those first few are gonna be great, right? But when you get to video 98, 99, 100, you're gonna be putting out some really, really good stuff. Right. And so, you know, that's the process, or the way that you have to think is like, hey, let me go to market with what I have today, and I'm gonna continuously improve and design what it is that I'm doing, and I'm gonna get better and better over time. And what's going to happen is it's going to show up on your results. Whatever your goal is, whatever you're trying to do, you're going to start inching closer and closer to where it is that you want to be, right? But it's definitely not a sprint. Anything worth having definitely takes some time, and anything that comes real fast, more than likely, it's not good for you.
Right. Mark Cuban said perfection is the enemy of profit. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, you know, people don't want to see perfect. That's why social media and reality TV is more,
I'm gonna
making
take
more money than Hollywood. You know what I mean? So, CJ, you want to chime in on that? Corey, welcome to the show, man. I know you can't chime in on this last clip, so we're going to get you on the next clip. But, CJ, you want to...
Yeah, this is the show and prove age, and you also have to know your audience. Right. Like the way things are now, people's attention spans are a lot shorter, so you come with that quick piece of value, but you have to be not just providing it, but be consistent with it. Because even before then, it took over 5 touches. When you are actually intentionally like going after a specific person, it took 5 touches. When you just casting a big net, you're gonna have to do a lot more than that.
Right. It's changed nowadays, but the touches have gotten easier though. You know, you can touch more people.
Yeah, you can touch more people. You just got to touch them more.
Exactly. Fabian said, "How many hands are helping you when you are doing your content for social media?" Right now, it's just me. You know, I have an editor that's in India. You know, I keep an editor, but I shoot all my own content. I do everything right now until I get a bigger budget that I want to do. Start doing some more stuff. I can't talk about what I'm gonna do because every time I put something out there, somebody, you know, as soon as we do it, somebody else do it real quick. So it's like it's the biting age. But right now they're making it so easy. A lot of the stuff I even edit my own stuff for most. A lot of times they're making it so easy now with artificial intelligence. You just tell them what you want to see.
Yep. You can edit it yourself. You use ChatGPT for content.
Yeah, it's like it's getting so easy now. You got ChatGPT for writing your mini blogs. You got the AI, the as far as the actual, they got apps that you can put AI for your transitions and stuff like that, and your cutouts. Usually, you have to. Back in the day, you had to cut each one out and had to place it, and they do all that automatically.
Man, they got AI that can actually create an avatar that looks just like yourself and sound like yourself, and all you gotta do is type in the script.
Right.
Oh,
next
cool.
That's the
I was
next
gonna
thing
say I
that's
saw
coming.
that.
Yeah,
They
Or
got,
you can
yeah, I've seen it where it'll make a call for you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Boy.
They use it now. They use it now
Yeah.
for for this cold calls, the
Yeah.
scam callers.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the future, and Fabian come from Mattress Mac as well. He's been at Gallery Furniture longer than I have. My mentor, Mattress Mac, always used to say, look 10 years in the future. You don't look at what's going on today.
Right.
So what I think is going to happen in 10 years in the future is going to be all about who has the most creativity and the best to the market, the fastest to the market, because everything's getting so easy. Everybody's kind of doing the same thing. As soon as you do something, somebody hopping on it. So you gotta make your money quick. You gotta stamp what you want, your niche, and you gotta do it fast. And you gotta do it. You gotta be the first. You also have read your book 10 times. It's easier than 2x. Y'all read the books? Oh, 10x. It's easier than 2x. Yeah. 10x by Grant Cardone. Yeah, I read that a couple times. One of my favorite books of the last couple of years is Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or Be Average. I like that because it's not too many people that's on that level. A lot of people were sold to the idea that work-life balance, and I think it's greater than. I think it's about purpose. I think you have to marry your profession and make it be your purpose. And when you're purpose driven, it's more than just a job. That is your life.
That's a good one. I just finished a book not too long ago called Relentless.
Book 10x is 10x is easier than 2x. Okay, yeah, I'm about to put me on that. Send me the link to that. But yeah, go ahead, CJ.
I was just saying, I just finished this book called Relentless. And
Relentless,
the trainer that trained Jordan and Kobe and like some of the greats.
Right. But that's about your boy, right?
Tim Grover.
Tony Robbins.
No, this Tim Grover. He
trained Kobe.
Yeah, and Jordan.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, I read that about 5 years ago. Yeah. But it's more. He's talking more physical, but it is a lot of mental stuff with the physical stuff.
Yeah. He's talking about you got to have it in you, not on you.
Yeah, it got to be in you. Yep, it got to be in you. All right, let's go to the next clip. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like Relentless. I read that one about 5 years ago. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Question that's getting asked a lot right now. It's been getting a lot of attention because of all the commission lawsuit stuff, and I've seen these comments all over my posts online and such. I want you to remember that real estate people are independent contractors in an industry with an 87% failure rate. There is no security. There is no salary. There's nothing, right? And I think that most of us know that when we go in and spend $100 in a business, that business owner doesn't make that $100. They've got a cost of goods. They've got to pay for employees, the business, the overhead, all of that stuff. And they're lucky if they have a 10 to 15% profit rate. Real estate people are no different, right? They've got their office space. They've got their split to their broker, which is significant. Sometimes they have franchise fees. They've got their own employees, their team, their admin, their transaction coordinator, ongoing training and coaching that they pay for, their car, gas, marketing, advertising, photos, sign installation, client parties, all of these things that add up. There's overhead and risk in an industry with 1.5 million professionals that are all chasing after the same transaction pool of just over 4 million properties they're going to sell in the next year, a little less than 3 per if everything got divvied out. So I guess what I'm saying to you is that if you know a realtor or a real estate person who you think makes too much, you might want to, instead of questioning, do they make too much? You might want to buy them a cup of coffee, sit them down and get some business advice, because they have survived and they have thrived in an industry where almost every single one of their colleagues wasn't able to make it. Buy them a coffee, give them a hug. They're worth every penny. Do real estate people make too much?
Yeah, I want to get that in there because, I'll go ahead and comment on it after y'all get a comment. I want to keep that natural circle, so y'all hop in on that one.
Yeah, it kind of leads to the point where when they talk about new agents coming in, how you want listings, but for a lot of them, it may be better to work with buyers because you spend a lot more out of pocket on listings. Like buyers, you're spending money on gas, but you're not buying signs. You're not doing a lot of the marketing that you have to do with a listing. It comes with a higher out-of-pocket cost on your end, which you may not get reimbursed for if, for whatever reason, that listing expires or the relationship terminates. So it serves a lot of people more if they get buyers on the front end, because you can take a buyer out, you're spending gas money, but once you start accumulating a little money in your savings and everything, go after those listings where you can really utilize that money for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to chime in on that, Barry? You've been
yeah, no, I agree with it. Especially you coming in, yeah. And I think we kind of talked about this before on one show where we talked about agents that new agents that come in into the business, maybe getting on a team or something like that. I mean, I didn't know that I was going when I got in, I was going to have to spend as much as I was going to spend. I mean, because it already costs a grip just to get your license.
And then all the fees. Baby.
Yeah, then all the fees. That's before you even get to open the door. So, yeah. You want to do something that's when I first got in, ladies, she just started showing me some things that are cost effective that you can do to, get your foot in the door and get in. Because listings, I mean, marketing a home the money you spend just to get the lead, and then you got to spend money to get them to want to sell, and marketing signs and all that. So a buyer, like you said, you just spending really gas taking them around. So it's a little bit less cost effective for you, or a little bit more cost effective for those.
It's shameful the way, it is, where it's just the way society is, It's almost as if the smaller business that you are, the more people are prone to kind of dictate and judge how much money you make on an actual deal or actual transaction or whatever the case may be. Kind of what he alluded to on there is that, if somebody makes $100 or they charge $100, somebody wants to have the perception that you're getting that whole $100, and they truthfully inside have a problem with you getting that whole $100. But they don't take into account you have overhead costs. For a lot of agents, when you go to the closing table and you got clients that actually close on a deal, they look at that closing disclosure or HUD statement or whatever it is, and they see what your fee is. They like, damn, he made $10,000 on this transaction. Man, I don't know about that, man. Next time I'm gonna have to get my license and get my own house, right? And then they start saying silly shit like that, right? So, so I think they don't necessarily understand the overhead that agents actually have. They don't understand the overhead that businesses have in general. Right. Automatically, automatically when agents get a deal, the broker got to get their cut. That's probably half, 40, 50% of that gone already. Just depending on who your broker is, right? And then you got to give another half of your half to Uncle Sam. So like that stuff, that $10,000 that you saw on that closing disclosure, that thing started to cut down fairly fast. But people don't want to see that. They put blinders on when it comes to reason. All they see is that how much money is going out the door. Which is crazy.
If you're a listing agent, you got to pay yourself back for the photos, the marketing, the signs, like all that.
Correct.
In addition to paying everybody else their money.
Right.
But they judging you based upon what's on that closing disclosure.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Right. Corey, you got to took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I really wanted to touch on. Like, a lot of people see hey, it's tax free, and they just think that whole thing is going in your pocket, and it doesn't. A lot of people, they don't want to work for free, but they want you to work for free. So and a lot of people don't understand. Like, hey, there's overhead to this. This isn't all this fluff. This isn't all this going to a Bentley or something like that. This is going to a lot of people eat off of this. So most agents you're not just by yourself. A lot of people, you have transaction coordinators, you have people that you're feeding as well. So a lot of people eat off of this money. So it's just not all
at the same time as our fault that they don't know.
It's a what now?
At the same time as our fault that they don't know.
Right. And then, like I said, you get what you pay for. Like I said, those agents that automatically discount their fees, they still stay with mom, and there's an old meme that goes around. Like, you could tell bad lawyers by the type of suit that they wear. If you got the bell bottom suit you know, and it's not tailored. You can tell that
Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
With some old
it's not
Stacey
a
Adams.
Stacey
But you know
Adams,
what? On what you just said, CJ, is it really us to tell them all of that?
Yeah.
I
How are they
mean,
gonna know?
I mean, what are they supposed to know that I have
I don't think
to
it-
that I'm paying
it
for
ain't-
the photos and I'm paying for that guy to come out and take those pictures?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm explaining them like I'm paying. This is coming out of my pocket. Like I'm paying for this. I'm paying for this marketing. Like you know how we tell them
now,
things.
now I know. Now I understand you want to show the value that you're giving them, but getting into just okay, well, you know, I got to pay taxes and I got to pay this and I got to pay that and I got to pay this. So when you see that number, it's not gonna.
I mean, you got to break it down like that, but
yeah,
like,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna bring.
like,
But they got to understand that hey, this when you. It's funny because when you pay for a hamburger or something like that, you don't damn well, how much is this a patty? You know,
yeah.
But you got to remind them, like, I'm not a salaried employee. I'm 1099, so like a lot of money from the money that I'm getting, a lot of it's going elsewhere.
Right, I got to pay taxes the whole nine. You want to Fabian answer this question? How do you manage houses that sit on the market too long? If you're the agent, CJ or Barry, y'all want to tackle that while I settle this next clip?
If it's on too long, well, one of the first things is trying to get the seller to reduce the price, because usually that's the main reason a home is on the market too long is the price.
Yeah,
you want to reduce.
Yeah, to simplify it, 3 things sell a house: condition, marketing, and price. So if the market is on point, it's either got to be the condition or the price. So then you got to just whittle it down to find out which one is causing it to stay on the market the longest.
Mm-hmm. And you know, and that's like because you're supposed to do as an agent, listing agent, you're supposed to do a market analysis of homes that have sold, and then you're dealing with maybe a seller that wants to get a certain price. So you kind of got that going on right there.
Yeah. Right. But it's
want to get that Zillow price.
Hey, it's our job to talk about that ledge, though.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you want. It only matters what that buyer
wants don't matter.
Right. It's all in what that buyer wants to pay.
I would say this though too. Wouldn't you say, and it's going to relate to a clip down the way? Wouldn't you say a lot of times it's the commission slice? A lot of times, if you 1.5%, 2%, that's one of the reasons why it's not moving.
What do you mean?
Well, what's not moving?
If it's on the buyer side, you got the ones and the twos instead of the threes.
I mean, it could, but then that buyer is not working as a fiduciary for his client.
Not that buyer's agent, because don't forget that agent is going to show you the 3%. They're not going to show you the 2%.
That's what I'm saying. They're not being trustworthy and honest with their client if they're not showing them everything.
Right, that's how it happens, though.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Agents don't know how to communicate and explain what's going on.
Right.
Because I'm showing my client everything. I'm gonna let them know, hey, per our agreement, this is what we agreed for me to get. This is what they're offering, so you have to pay the difference. So if you like this, you need to keep that in mind.
Right, I got you. But just like the house that we just closed on in Atlanta, the problem is sat on the market for 3-4 months because they were only offering 2% to the buyer side. As soon as we put it back to 3%, it was gone in a week. Same house, didn't do anything different, no pictures, nothing.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, because you have agents that are not they're not putting the client's interest in the best interest of the client.
Yeah, they're supposed to put their interest above their own.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
Well, before the next clip, let me share my thoughts on that. You guys touched on a lot of key points, but I come from a place of cost is only an issue in the absence of value, right? So if I know the value that I provide to my clients, right? Of course, I got to be transparent in the pricing and the cost now and in the future. I'm in a heavily regulated industry, right? The SEC and the state of Texas comes to my office once a year, and dives through my files. But my thing has always been be transparent with pricing and cost. And even in the portfolios and presentations that I deal with folks, I show them the numbers. I say, hey, this is what you're paying. These are the internal fees over there. If we look at my strategy and you want to move forward with it, this is what that looks like, right? And it's a comparison. Sometimes my costs are lower, sometimes they're higher, but typically if it's higher, it's for a reason. We can say, hey, right, this is definitely going to outperform what you're doing over there. And there's that additional layer of management fee, and this is why, right? But folks, as long as you're clear and transparent with pricing with folks, and they can see and understand the value that you provide, I never get any pushback on that, right? And for the folks who actually do give me pushback, 99 out of 100 times, that's not somebody who I want to work with because they're commoditizing the work that I do. Like I said earlier in the show, it took me 15 years to get here, right? And I know I wish I could charge you more, right? but I'm doing the right thing, right? And I tell people that, so with me, you guys made some really good points. And I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way. We put in the work, right? Nobody talks about, hey, you don't pay me for this 1 hour work that I do and I made $3,000, right? You paying me for the 15 years it took me to get here to be an expert in my field and deliver these strategies to you so you can reach the goals that you have for yourself, right? And so you gotta account for that in addition to those overhead, those fixed costs, so on and so forth, the cost to do business, right? We're all business folks. We know how to operate, right? We know how to run our business as a tight ship and make money. But at the end of the day, we provide value, and that comes with the cost. If you don't see the value, go to that guy down the street, who's half price, and see where you end up.
Yep. And another issue that I think is agents that take these listings, they don't have these conversations with their clients on the front end before they even put on the market, because we can't predict the future. We don't know what buyers are willing to pay for your house. So if you're not talking about having a strategy for, all right, if it does not sell for this price and this amount of time, we need to adjust it. Those conversations need to be had before you even put it on the market, but it's not happening. And then when it's sitting like Fabian's talking about, then they got to have an even harder conversation because now it's after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I think it said just to piggyback off what CJ said, is especially in the service industry, which is what we in. You got to set the expectations for what could happen. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times, a lot of sales people, whatever, we only harp on the good parts of it. We don't tell them, okay, well, look, these are the possible pitfalls or these are the possible issues. When people hear about that up front, what the possible issues are, when it comes up, you don't have so much of a kickback. Oh, okay, I remember we talked about this. Okay, I remember that. But when you say, oh, no, it's all daisies and roses out there, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's going to happen. This is going to be soon. And then something comes up.
We're going to sell it like crazy.
Yeah. And then something comes up, you know what I'm saying? Then now they hold your ass to the fire because they pissed off because their house hadn't sold or the transaction didn't go the way that you claimed it was going to go. So just to piggyback off him, I think setting expectations is an important thing, especially in the service industry.
It's very important.
That Fabian could attest to that. That's Mattress Max selling. That's 101, man. And you don't run from it, you run to it. We sell more off the floor stuff than probably anybody in the nation. We call it market sample. So we sell, hey, what you see is what you get. Sell what's available today. So I point out all the scratches. I point out all the flaws. Because hey, you see it, this is what you're gonna be at the house. And I do the same thing with real estate. Hey, this is the good, the bad, the ugly. Because if anything happened, hey, remember we talked about this. We talked about this before, so it's not a surprise. So I'd rather be up front and be the bad guy than be behind and then have to explain it. Some people sell like that. Some people sell like it's all rainbows and unicorns, and it oftentimes come back to bite them. You got to tell them straight up. Hyman, welcome to the show, man. Like I said,
guess who's back?
Yeah.
Guess who's back?
You're on time for the next clip. So
take that Texas shirt off. Take that Texas shirt off. I'm pissed. The boys that show up this weekend. I'm a little hot with the boys right now.
No.
Lamar Jackson's a bad
Baltimore's best team, man.
Yeah, they did. Hey, look. I think they exceeded expectations this season. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely did. They definitely did.
No doubt.
So
Hey,
man,
CJ, do you know when you click on the link from your Facebook page, it takes you straight to YouTube?
Yep.
You did that on purpose?
Yeah, because my LinkedIn ain't connected today.
Would
All right, can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
It's small.
Sure. I think EXP is a scam. Realtors live in a box
Yeah.
and they have so much earning potential, but they don't even realize it because they're so busy chasing 2 and 3% commissions that
From all of those things that you just said, you don't like,
yeah.
which is fantastic. And I can understand why you believe that that's not the highest, most valuable use of time, because it's a low level opportunity in a sense. Flipping, if it's not done at scale, is the same. Because what happens is it's just a mechanism to raise cash. A lot of flippers live off the flips.
Yep.
And they don't have any residual income. And a lot of agents do the same thing, which is that if they learn how to sell real estate in high volume, they can raise a lot of cash. Like at the same time, if they're not forward thinking and they're not recognizing, hey, this is a treadmill, and they're not taking a meaningful portion of what they're earning and investing into things that pay them money, then they're going to fall into the same trap.
I am not convinced that being a realtor makes sense in 2023.
Sure.
I think EXP is a scam. Realtors.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure.
That's fired.
So, I know this will get this conversation started, man. So I'll let y'all kick it off. You know, what's your reaction to it?
I mean, anything where you have a service-based business and you don't have systems in place where you could step away from it and still get paid, you're gonna be living off of whatever you make from those deals. So, like, everybody has their own choice of brokerages. So a lot of people like EXP, and a lot of people don't. It just depends on what your style, what your flavor is. But I'll let Hyman speak on like the flipping side. But we talked about that. Like the point is to make some money off of the flip. But
Yeah, I don't know.
Continue to
I
grow.
mean, what they were talking about with real estate, I mean, that or what a real estate agent should be doing. Why does it matter what brokerage you're at? If it's AXP or if you at ABC Realty, if you're not doing stuff to get that income, why does it matter? EXP? I don't.
Well, I think they said it's more like a pyramid scheme where they with the high splits. I think that's what.
That was going to be my question. Why did he say EXP is a scam? Because I've heard of EXP. I see their offices all the time when I'm going to my different meetings. You know, at my meeting offices. Why is it a scam?
Yeah, I didn't.
What was he referring to?
I've never been with EXP. I don't even know anybody that's an agent for EXP. But I honestly think any business model, you can go back to Organo Gold Coffee or whatever the case may be. Anytime you talk about a business where somebody can get paid off of the production of somebody else or just by bringing somebody else in, I think you're always going to have people that call that a scam. I think they call EXP, you know what I'm saying? So that's honestly what I think is the situation. They call it multi-MLM, you know what I'm saying? Or they call it a pyramid scheme, whatever the case may be. But I think you're always going to have somebody that's going to call it a scam at the end of the day.
But it's a similar setup as Keller Williams. They came from Keller Williams.
Right. All of them have a pyramid type feel to them where it's overrides. I mean, that's business in a nutshell. You know, it's just like, you know, it's profit sharing and
profit sharing. I think theirs is revenue sharing. I think, but
they get stock options or something with the company.
Yeah,
but I just don't think Keller Williams puts it at the forefront the way EXP does.
Right.
That's EXP's kind of marketing. Hey, look, you can come over here. And
that's how they get people in the door. Right.
Yeah, you get shares. You can make X amount of dollars. You make $40,000 a year if you build you a team. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean,
boots on the ground.
I'm gonna let my comments to the end. I'll let y'all go in on that. Jaime, you want to go in on that? That as far as.
They're correct as far as if you as a realtor, if you have not come up with the strategy to allow your business to make money, you know what I'm saying? You can't constantly keep running for the commission check. Very true. That is very true. Also, I believe when you say you're not utilizing your full resources, that just simply means you're not investing in what you're doing. We come across buyers and sellers every day, And every situation does not meet every buyer and seller that we represent. Some things meet some different, some unique situations that allow only a unique type of buyer or seller can deal with. And if you're not in a position to take advantage of every opportunity that comes across the desk, you're cutting yourself short. Next thing is that if you are flipping in this industry as a realtor, there are some advantages, but the only issue is that if whatever brokerage you with, if they're not investor friendly, you can't do it with them. We all know who those are. But if you're not learning how to flip more than at least 4 houses a year, then you're kind of like just doing it as a regular job. Because every flip you do, you gotta take 20,000 of that just to keep paying the light, water, and gas at the house, and hopes you find another sweet enough deal that you can take the other 20 you made and go back and find another deal. So that's in the retrospect as far as not being able to scale it, and as far as the amount of money you make, because some of you guys probably don't know, the average flipper who does well, I'm gonna just say that does well, they're making $25,000 in profit per deal. That means they're getting that money back, and it's $25,000 in profit. So if you're profiting 25, you got to do at least 3.5 deals just to live a basic lifestyle, which is $75,000. You know what I mean? And so that's
more than that, because you got to live off of that. So that's revenue spent.
What, 25,000?
Yeah, that ain't including the 25 that you need to keep going.
The way it works is when you put your deals together, you know how much it costs to rehab, you know how much it's going to cost to sell it. You already know how much your holding cost is going to be. Once you know what that is, you have to have that profitability to get all your money back plus profit, which is what you're going to live off of technically. If the deal does not get you there, you don't take it. Period.
Right. My thing, I'm gonna go ahead and chime in right fast, but I already got the next clip set up. But I want to chime in. I think what we're missing is what he's saying is scalability. I think too many people are underachievers, is what he's saying. Let's start with the flips. I think if you're trying to live off flips, it's supposed to be an investment. It's not supposed to be a job. Some people can live off of that, but it's supposed to be additional revenue. It's supposed to be long-term revenue. I mean, you can use it for cash and to stimulate, but it works better if you compound it. You take that and you keep on going. You keep on flipping. That's separate than your vocation. It's supposed to be like Fabian said, passive income. So if you're living off it, it's a lot harder. All right, I just made $20,000, but I got $20,000 worth of bills. Or I got $15,000 worth of bills. Now it's hard to make that next flip. It's hard to grow. Same thing with when he's talking about with EXP. If you're just trying to recruit and just trying to get other people to do the job for you, I think you're gonna fall flat. I think that's where you get scammed. I think you have to be great in your field first, and then become a coach, an influencer, then scale your team around you. I think if you're just trying to get other people, all right, well, you're not going to be able to build a team like that if you're not able to coach them and be good yourself, because then you don't have any credibility. Why would they come and meet you? And
you said something about chasing 2 or 3% commissions, so I don't know what that meant.
Well,
you just chasing commissions. You're not really trying to build anything. You just
right. So
working for the next deal.
Yeah, if you talking about the EXP model where they have different teams, you got to do all these splits, and you're not doing the job yourself. You're not going to skid off the baseball yourself. You're not scoring points yourself, and you're relying for everybody else. You're not going to make any money. Like you said, like Hyman just said, 40 grand. All right, I made 40 grand off of just focusing on everybody else, and then how can I live off of that? You see, I think that's what he said. And I think people get
on the EXP situation, Doc. When they recruit now, when they first came out, they was trying to get everybody under the sun, right? Just any agent who had a post, they had an active license, they wanted you to come to EXP. Here over the past year or two, it seems like they've gotten a little more refined about who they're recruiting. They're trying to recruit agents who have been in the business for 3 to 5 years and have a certain level of productivity to come into the business.
Right.
I think we've all got those recruitment calls now.
But let me ask you this: as a rookie, or do you have any pull on trying to get somebody else in underneath you as a team?
No.
That's what I think he's saying.
No, but as a rookie, going to EXP, you're not going just, okay, I'm going to go to EXP coming straight out of school. You're going to EXP because somebody told you that knew you. Say, come on, go to EXP. I'm going to teach you how to do this thing under me.
Right.
So look, let me just chime in with my 2 cents real quick. You know what I'm saying?
3 cents, you mean?
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cents. make it a dime. You know what I'm saying? 10 cents. You know what I'm saying? Let me chime in with mine. You know what I'm saying? So the way I looked at it is essentially what he's saying is the end all goal is to be financially free. In order for you to be financially free, you got to deploy your dollars where you're getting the highest rate of return with the least amount of effort. If you're wholesaling, if you're an agent, and you're out here spinning your wheels and you're working hard on a day-to-day basis and you're not trying to build some sort of passive income, then you're doing something wrong. This is the way I interpret it. So it's a reason you watch Shark Tank and you got these millionaires that's not trying to take 50 or 60% of these lower entrepreneurs' businesses. Give us 15, 20, 25% because we want a return on our money, but I don't want to have to be in your business day to day. I want you to go to work and do everything hard. I just want to deploy my dollars and get some dollars back with the least amount of effort so I can go golf and hang out on the yacht every single day. So to me, what I read from it is that if you out here hustling, which is nothing wrong with hustling, nothing busting your ass on a day-to-day basis. But when you get that money, if you're flipping houses and you get that $40,000, are you going to buy a rental that's giving you passive income? Or are you going to buy a business that's giving you passive income? Or are you taking that $40,000, putting it in the marketing and going out there and spinning your wheels for some more wholesale deals?
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's just what I interpreted from.
Right. And I second that. That was what I picked up from the second gentleman when he was talking.
You gave $1 on that one.
The thing is, if you're living off commission deals, and I have some colleagues in my business that work that way, they only sell specific products, right? That's all they do, and they get a nice commission. That's a hell of a roller coaster to be on, right? Because you don't know where your next dollar is coming from, right? Talk about stress. If you have a family and kids, you know what I mean? And so Corey hit it on the nose. You know, when you do get those nice paydays, right, once a quarter or once a month or however, whenever they come, right, you do have to put a portion to the side somewhere and, you know, and let that grow for you while you continue to, you know, to chase those commissions wherever they are. You definitely need multiple streams of income. With me being a financial planner, I always got my hat on. When you retire, all you're doing is living off income that you created for yourself, right? I sit down with families all the time. They worked hard for years, right? And now it's time to recreate their income, and there's nothing to do it with.
Right. You're going to like the last clip. Yeah, you're going to like the last clip, but then we got 2-3 more. But that kind of relates to that. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Let's get into these because we got like 3 more. So let's hit these last 3 so we can go on the road. This you know, I gotta throw some controversy up in there, man. You know, I know Patrick not gonna like this clip right here. We got this.
You know, I don't like none of that stuff. I don't like it.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. Patrick not gonna like this one, but I got to do it, man. We got to do it for the cause, for the culture, man. This goes back to what we were saying a week ago. I found the clip.
We're looking for this social integration. You know why? Because we had our own businesses there. My family was part of one that had the only black bus line in the entire United States. We had over 500 buses. We had that from 1927 up to about 1967. We don't kill our buses, social integration. And all of a sudden, you also are talking about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King going down to Alabama, want to integrate the bus lines. Integrate whose bus lines? White bus lines. They didn't want to own and control and get the resource. They just want to sit on the front of it. Now, if the bus is moving, in the back of the bus will be where the front of the bus will move in a fraction of a second. And everybody gets off at the same time. And Black Citizens Winston-Salem says, we want to ride on front of white buses. So we said, we don't have any white buses. They said, well, we'll get some so we can ride on the front of them.
I feel like a complete asshole because I never thought about that. Like that whole time they did the boycott, they should have been trying to establish their own bus company as opposed to wanting to ride. I never thought about that. Y'all boycotted for a year just to want to ride on the front?
See, you're a smart man.
I never thought about that.
But I grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I
found the clip
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I saw that interview.
I've seen that
That
before.
wasn't too bad. I didn't hate that. That wasn't too bad.
Right, but it piggyback to something we was talking about last week, man. Like, you know, getting to own ownership. You know, I think, like I said, I think one of the things we got sold on is their jeans are better. Jabot jeans are better than Jackson jeans, and like you said, we got the better. We had our own buses since the 20s. You know, what was the difference on getting in front of somebody else's bus? I mean, you know, we had the bus already. I think it was planted, you know, and then once you got the integration going, I think it destroyed that whole Greenwood thing, the whole Black Wall Street. It all came crumbling down because now there's no power. And what we said earlier at the top of the hour, there's no power without that web. There's no power without that connection. So if we all individuals, you know, it's not as powerful as we all as a conglomerate. So, and I think it was strategic.
Yeah, for sure. Because
I think we spent so much time trying to sit at somebody else's table instead of making our own table.
Right.
I mean, they saw firsthand the kind of income and money that Black folks were bringing in back in the day when they started Freedman's Bank. We started putting all our money in there, all our savings, and a few years later, the banks closed down. And everybody lost the money that had an account in that bank. So they know we was bringing in money.
Right, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Dr. Claude Anderson. He wrote a book called Powernomics.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Claude Anderson.
It ties right into that first clip that you showed about the spider web.
Right.
It was talking about how, as business owners and Black business owners, we need to start growing vertically more than horizontally. Like we all got our own special gifts and talents. We don't all need to be doing the same thing. We need to have people doing different things. We could pool our resources and support each other and grow vertically. So everybody's not doing the same thing.
Right.
And that goes back to the first thing, huh? Working together.
Yeah.
Now y'all starting to see the overall theme of this
That
stuff.
goes all the way back to working
These
together.
clips, this ain't random clips. These be well thought out, man. These be well thought out. They all kind of go together. You know what I mean? You know, so I'll let y'all go ahead and finish chiming in, man. Patrick, what you got to say about that one, man? So more evidence that we've been bamboozled. You know?
Right. So he did make a good point, right, about integrating the bus lines, but it made me think about the schools, right, because that was around the same time with education, and from what I can remember, Black schools were underfunded, right? Kids wasn't getting the same education as the other kids down the street.
Still underfunded, people. Still
Right.
underfunded.
And so when I think about integration, that's what I think about. First, I don't think about Rosa Parks, and sitting on that bus. But he's right. And, if his family saw that coming, they should have probably, tried to come up with a deal or something with those buses, to go out of business or transition to something else if he knew it was on the forefront back then. But it's unfortunate. I guess that's just the way of the world, right? If with those things changing, they had the white side of town, they had the white businesses, they had the Black side of town, they had the Black businesses, and with integration, I guess a lot of those Black businesses went under, not just thinking about the buses, right? Whatever else got integrated, those folks probably went out of business too.
No, I think you missed the point. What we talking about, man? The thing is that if you watch that whole interview, he lived during that time, and they were baffled on where these people came from that all of a sudden wanted to ride on the front of the bus.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You said it was a setup. It was a setup.
Yeah.
If you think about it, why would you want to eat at somebody's restaurant that don't want you there? What do you think they're doing to your food in the back?
Exactly. So one plus, and it ain't known for, it ain't like it's known for, it ain't known for great seasoning either. Like, all right, like, man, this food smack. That ain't known for that. So why would I subjugate myself to that So they saying like, man, where these people come from? They, you know, they were getting them from the colleges and stuff like that. You know, they was recruited. I mean, it makes sense. It was welfare. You know, and you know, like we already had the buses. Why not? You know, it just didn't make sense. So if you look at the whole interview, like, man, where these people come from? That's pushing for the boycott.
Got it. So he's saying all those folks were a plant.
Okay, so the idea, I want to address the food thing, right? At the time of the countertop boycott, Black people were still being served at Woolworth. They were just being served out the back. So that came about because you're good enough to take our money, but we're not good enough to sit at the counter to take the money to eat the food that we're paid for. That's what that came.
My whole thing is why even go there in the first place?
That's where that came from. At that time, it may not have been enough restaurants that were owned by Black people. Remember, they wasn't giving Black folks money, man.
That's very true too.
In certain parts of the country. But the question was always about, well, why would you want to go sit at that countertop for unseasoned food? Now, but they was buying the unseasoned food out the back door.
Right.
We all knew that.
I think we could have. I don't know if if we would have got more creative. Why wasn't there a lunch lady? I know when I was growing up, they used to have the candy lady where she sold sandwiches and cold cups and freeze pops and all that stuff. And so why didn't this? You know, where were the food trucks back then? You know, pop up. You know, with some coolers and sell some lunches, man. We could have did that. You know, there was enough restaurants, but there were a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants to this day. You know, my point of putting all this in there, my point of putting this in there, I think some of the symptoms that were back then is still today. I think, like CJ said, we need to integrate differently than we have been. And I think we need to come together on a lot of parts instead of trying to compete. You know, I think we competing and you're making yourself weaker by doing that. You know, and I think it's all been programming. Let me read this Fabian quote because we got 2 more clips. I want to get those out before we get out of here. Have you heard of Pace Morby and his Gator method? I haven't. Put me on it. You know, you heard of him?
Nope.
Yeah.
Heard of who?
You want to break it down for us?
Essentially, a subject to is all it is. It's just got a new marketing name on it. That's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah, let me
name.
let me play devil's advocate here for a second, right? Everybody making some valid points. But what essentially, you know what I'm saying, I hear is that Black folks should have essentially created their own ecosystem outside of the white people, right? But if there's nobody there to push the envelope, how do we get to where we are today? Right? So you know what I'm saying? If today, you know what I'm saying, if the Black people stayed with their own ecosystem and never integrate or never push the envelope, then today we would still have Black people doing business with Black people, white people, and so on and so forth. How can we say that, you know what I'm saying, we want to progress if we don't push the envelope?
How does when me and CJ met up on this check on Saturday? Where were we? We're still in Houston, but what was all the businesses around there?
Oh yeah, it was in Chinatown.
But it's still part of Houston.
Right.
San Francisco has a Chinatown right there. They call it Asian Town.
But look, if you walked into one of them restaurants and ordered orange chicken, they would give you orange chicken, would they not?
Exactly. I'm not saying don't take anybody else's business. However, they conglomerated. They got together, brought real estate together, and formed their businesses and worked together. That's all we saying.
That's a true point because Chinatown in Houston used to be downtown, right? And that area went down, and they said, "Hey, we don't like this neighborhood anymore. Let's start buying this land out here."
Exactly.
And 20 years later, that's where y'all were, right?
Man, they got buildings, street signs, and everything in their language.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And I see a lot of banks. I go over there quite often. They have a lot of good ice cream and snack shops. I take my girls quite a bit.
So why wouldn't you eat orange chicken from a Black and Asian spot? You know what I'm saying? My point is,
you point out one, we going. You point out where we
My
going.
point is that we
They
have the
got
same.
chicken, but it's not orange chicken.
This is the point I think we missing. This is the point I think we all missing. Let's say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I stand on it. Every other nationality and group, we talked about it. We touch on it a little bit every week, and I do this like the raindrop every week. It's corrosion, erosion. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna keep hitting this point. Every other group stuck together and got up out of the mud. Why are we little? I see Asian Town. I see Bel Air. I see this, I see this side of town. I see that side of town. I'm looking at it. I see it. You talk about black-owned restaurants or black-owned business, they scattered. Got one here, maybe one there. Well, you know what I'm saying? And they don't mess with each other. We beefing. I like his girl, I don't like. Why is this? And then,
don't know, man.
Not only that, it's twofold. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, we got to smell ourselves, and it was strategic. It's always been strategic. Why? What are you scared of? What are you scared of? So is it systematic? Yes. However, it's a malfunction. It's an illness within us as well. We got to address some of this stuff. When are we going to address some of this stuff?
I see what you're saying, but Chip said we can't take certain situations and apply that and blanket it to all. Because if I go through Third Ward, you know what I'm saying? It's a ton of black businesses around there. And it's all in the same area. Is it not? You know what I'm saying? Is Third Ward not majority black?
Third Ward is majority black business. Are you sure about that?
I'm 100% sure about that. When the last time you been through Third Ward?
The other day.
From the clubs to the restaurant. Now, when it comes to gentrifying, I mean, you know what I'm saying, they got some other people moving in, they got some other people moving houses, whatever case may be. But when you talk about the majority, it's majority black.
I know you might want to check into that.
Don't need
back
to.
in the day,
Don't need to.
I think back in the day, I think it was J. Edgar Hoover that said black unity was the biggest threat to America. And then you look at redlining, then you look at the highway systems where they just drove them all through all the black neighborhoods, disrupting everything. And like the stuff is not on accident.
Right.
So like people have the right to choose what they want to do with their money. But when it comes to, if we're talking about having a real community, having real like neighborhoods, we got to support our own. We have to gentrify our own neighborhoods instead of having people from the outside coming in doing it for us.
Right. And what I mean by that is that, like I said, there are black neighborhoods, but as far as the businesses, the commercial spots, Lowe's and Home Depot, that's not owned by us. You know, the ones that anchor, that's not owned by us. So mom and pop stuff is cool, but I'm talking about where's the black market? I got down the way.
Business, bro. Nobody can
30 seconds.
Nobody can compete with Walmart.
With 30 seconds. There's 2 superstores that right on my street that I can't even pronounce the name of them. You know, it's completely ethnic. I don't even know. It's one Hispanic and one is like Asian. I can't even pronounce it. You know, so but it's a mega store. You know, and it's a national chain. I can't even pronounce it. I don't know. So my point is that where the big national brands that instead of trying to integrate, you know, we should be trying to. It's plenty of opportunity. I don't. Yes, systematic, cool, all right. But what are we gonna do to combat that? I'm sick of talking about it. This is the way I'm fighting back. You know, and I'm my business, and I practice what I preach. I'm collaborating. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start it like that. And as I get big, I'm gonna keep the train going. That's just what I do. So
yeah, we just gotta be more intentional with our spending. Like the way it is now, like you said, all the businesses are spread out. So, and we're in the age of we want everything right now. We won't get a next day Amazon shipment if we buy from an online black business. More than likely, it might take a little time to get it.
Yeah,
we might not have that access to it like in the vicinity, so we may have to look a little further out, but it's all about being intentional with it.
When I first moved back to Houston, I was living in close to Hiram Clark, what they call Black Bottom. And even in that neighborhood, it's not all black. You might see one black business, then you see Arab business, then you see Pakistani business, then you see something else business, then you might see a Hispanic business, then you might see another black business. I've never seen it where they all clump together. You know, you got to show me that. You know,
go through Third Ward, you'll see it.
Again, I was right there at Black Bottom. Show me, give me one.
Go through Third Ward, man. Hey, look, man, get out the house, hop in your whip, go through Third Ward.
Hey, but you ain't gonna see no Frenchies in Chinatown, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. How many was the whole strip mall? Further owned by us, operated by us, and it's all black owned businesses.
Right, they're out there, but you're right. They're not clustered. They're spread out.
See, I think we still got our head to say there ain't that many. If there's maybe one or two, if that, and then if we do own the strip mall, not all black businesses. They open it up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got to really do your fact check. Look at.
We can do the fact.
Man,
we
you
can
can't.
do the fact when it boils down to it. You know what I'm saying? There's no business owner, black, white, Mexican, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's going to actually turn down business because of your actual culture.
Right.
And
you know that's not the right thing to do either.
That is illegal. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying ideally, but if a black person owns a strip mall, they can't turn down somebody because they're not black. It just it's illegal.
I think you went to the extreme. Who said anything about?
But that's what you asked. That's what you said.
No, but I said turn down people because of their ethnicity. Come on, knock it off.
No, you were just saying that how many strip malls have all black, but
exactly.
But what he's saying is if you own a strip mall, but if you own a strip mall and you get somebody that's not black, say, hey, I want to put my store right there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Which is going to be majority of the time.
That's my point. If you do see a black owned strip mall, they're gonna open it up. See how you be arguing for the thing? It don't make no sense. You arguing, you shadow box yourself. You punch yourself in the bit.
I don't think so. I don't think you understand it. I think you're not trying to understand because you're trying to make a point that ain't really a point.
Right.
What I'm trying to tell you is what I'm trying to tell you is the realistic view of what you're saying is not truly realistic, is what I'm saying.
No,
but you're trying to
all the business.
So tell me this, B. How does it happen? How does it happen? A black person on the strip. A black person on the strip mall. How does it happen?
Show it to me.
How does it happen?
Show it to me.
I'm asking you. How does it happen? How does it happen?
Show it to me.
How does it happen?
President, show it to me.
That just proves my point. You just talking out your ass with no back plan, with no plan. I'm asking you if it's realistic. How do you make it happen? How do you make it happen? I'm asking you. How do you make it happen?
No, you avoiding the point. Show it to me.
There is my point is this is your view. This is your view, B. Tell me how do you make your view happen? Hey, B, do it this way. B, you own the strip mall. How you gonna make it all black? Please, just tell me that.
How did they make it all Asian?
How you make it all black?
How did they make it all Asian?
How you answer a question with a question? How you do that?
How
you answer a question with a question?
Oh my goodness.
So what you saying? It don't exist. I hadn't seen it, and that's
so
the problem.
Typically, what I see is whoever owns that strip center, they'll have their business in that strip center, and then they'll lease out the rest of that space to whoever wants that rent that space. Right. That's from the experiences that I have. That's typically how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the way normal business happens, Patrick. But
we don't see it that way.
Let me answer the question.
But no, Corey's right. You can't turn somebody down for their race.
You want me to answer the question, y'all?
B knows that illegal. B knows that illegal. He's just trying to argue for the sake of arguing. He knows that illegal.
Silly season, man. Y'all silly season. This is what happens, man. This is it right here.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow.
Y'all need to read. You know, reading the book is fundamental. Let me tell you how to do this. This
Was
is
that
how
the
they
next
do it.
clip? Was that the next clip?
Nah, that's the intermission because we. Anytime y'all say
Dr.
something
Cat.
silly, I'm gonna bring the reading rainbow up because we need to read. Y'all need to read.
Dr.
You know what I'm
Classic song, by the way. Classic song.
You know what I'm saying? But can I
Brought
answer?
back memories. Brought back memories. I'm just saying.
This is what they do. This is what they do. You want me to answer a question? My point was you flip the script. I'm talking about show it to me. You asking me how do they do it? All right, you want to know how they do it? They co-own the building, and each one of the owners has their own business there. They anchor, so they really ain't no tenants. They co-own the whole thing, and they divvy up. Let's say I got 4 slots. We're gonna go in there by 4s. You anchor each one of y'all anchor y'all business in there, and we all 4 own the strip mall. So there is no tenants. Y'all need to read.
Yeah, and then
Stop
they pay
fooling.
themselves rent, and
Next.
then it's a tax thing too.
Yeah,
it's a nice place.
Next.
It's a nice
And,
place.
and hold on, B, not just that. They probably next door neighbors, or they living in the same house.
Exactly. So stop the foolishness, man. Stop it. This is why we behind, man. We arguing about foolishness, and we the laughing stock of the league.
No,
Hold
so
Wait a minute, hold on.
No way.
Brandon.
Let me get it.
In your example, I'm confident in a city with 7 million people in Houston. We have those. There are black buildings that
Show it to
do
me.
what you're saying, but they're not clustered like you talked about. Some over here, some over there, some are down that road. They're around. They're around. Just not clustered.
We're gonna just keep denying it. We're gonna keep on denying it, huh? We're gonna keep putting our heads in the sand, huh? We're gonna keep
So
doing
to
the same thing,
say
huh?
to say that none of them don't exist, that's not reasonable
can't-
either.
Right. Can't take an inventory of every damn building in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Right.
crazy.
Hey,
Next
let me
clip.
let me
Next
add my
clip.
2 cents like I actually. Let's do it like this. There are 6 of us on this panel. Let's be 100. There's 6 of us on this panel, right? Brandon B. Dix. Out of this 6, which 4 of us would you want to do business with and go get a strip mall with?
Anybody that's willing to do
No. And it's 6 of us on here. What 4 of us?
Ooh,
would
that
you
boy be
want?
tap dancing. Man, boy be
You
tap
want
dancing
to
around
go
the
and do
question.
business with us to go buy a strip mall, B.
Anybody that got their money together?
That's terrible business decision, bro. Fuck that.
Classic
Anybody
B
got their
answer.
money together?
No.
Classic.
And that's why most of the business that we do together dissolve, because we're looking for the person who got the most money, not necessarily the person who brings enough to the table that can help us grow or help us be better or be in a position that where we may be faltering that they can be there for.
Let me
That is
ask
the
you
problem.
this.
We can't be. Hold on. You talk about us as a whole not doing things right. Just go and look for somebody who got enough money to do it is not how it works.
Let me
That's
ask you
not
this.
good business practice, B.
How many ways? How many different ways can you mess up real estate?
That's a real estate. Many different ways.
I'm talking about owning real estate.
Many different ways, B. But
So if
what
I
I
own
just
a-
asked you was that
Hold
I
on,
asked
hold
for
on.
something directly on your plate.
If I own
We
a
have been
strip
doing
mall-
this for I think 7 months now. Well, no, y'all been doing it longer than me. So I think I've been apart for like 5 months now. And you
Right.
know me, and I think we have an idea of who we are as business owners. You can't get on this thing and say, "Well, I want to do business, get the strip center with CJ, Barry, and Patrick." You mean to say you can't say that after we've been doing this for a while? But
I
it's
don't-
all about if I come to the table with 100 grand, you gonna do business with me over CJ and Barry B? Because
I
I
don't
got
get the
100 grand,
purpose
they
of
only
your
got
question.
30. That's not good
This
business
is how
practice, dog.
this is how I am. First of all, let me make the business practice how I want to do it.
Go ahead.
I'm ethnic centric. I mean, that's how I've always done mine.
But we
Now,
all
I would
the
gi-
same.
I would give you the benefit of the doubt if you had the money. I would say, all right, if you got the money, that shows me discipline. That shows me one thing.
Man,
And then the willingness to work, that shows me another thing. You don't need
I'm
much.
gonna take a quote from our boy Kevin Sanders. He says, "If you're not able to consistently make $100,000 for the next 5 years, we all can have one great year." I come in that rascal with 1 great year and bring you 100 grand. But CJ come in this thing, 75,000, 5 years straight. You gonna take my money over CJ's?
Well, I gotta be
No, that's not about-
55,000.
I'm just but you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm questioning your
flawed.
decision when you talk about how we doing it, but that's our problem. We too busy worried about the
That's
dollar.
messed up, dog.
No, I think the premise of your question is flawed. I mean,
It's
if-
always flawed, B.
yeah, it's
Because
like
you think that we have to have this premise of we're gonna be for each other, but when we are for each other, we're not looking for each other in the way that we should. We're looking for each other for the money.
nah.
But you
nah.
just said it. He got the money. Come on with it. Did he not say
Yeah,
that?
come on.
That
It
is
shows
what he
me a couple
said.
of
Did he
things.
not? CJ,
That is what he
did your boy
said.
say now? If he got the money,
I'm gonna find something for you. I can
No,
do
we got-
business. Yeah, I'm gonna
Don't
find
you
something.
play
for
that
you.
goddamn Reading Rainbow shit again.
Let's go to the
'Cause
next
I know
video.
it's coming. Don't you play that shit again.
Let's go to the next video.
I'm gonna find something for you. If you're willing to bring the money in, and I can find something for you to make money.
look at my
You know?
3 cents, B. I'm done.
Hold on, I saw a dime in there.
Did I throw it down in my bad?
Want social media to exist and demonizes it. I posted this video critiquing her where she wants to move the retirement age from 65 to 70. It has over 12 million views in like 48 hours. And all these comments, nearly 70,000, not one person agrees that they want to work an extra 5 years. It doesn't matter if you're left, right, or center. These apps are allowing us to share our true feelings where we don't have to be promoted or anointed to be able to have a platform to speak. And not just her. I'm talking politicians across the board. When are you going to stop and drop the veil and be a real human being? When are we going to get somebody who can sit here and go, hey, everyone, the economy is great for half the country and we need to celebrate that because that moves us forward. But there's another half of the country that is struggling more than we've ever struggled in life. We've got to figure out inflation. Here's the plan. We've got to figure out home prices. Here's the plan. Where's the real politicians here that are in touch with most of the country? Where are they? This is why people like Nikki Haley do not want social media to exist and demonizes it. I posted this video critiquing her where she wants to move the retirement age from 65 to 70.
Yeah, so I thought he would elaborate a little bit further. I thought he went in. There might be a longer clip of this, but he went into with the somebody was talking about earlier about the teachers and stuff like that. That teachers only get like a $250 credit for taxes as far as spending for supplies and stuff like that. So, and teachers and cops and stuff like that don't get any real tax breaks as opposed to like some of the politicians get all these tax breaks and stuff like that. So he was really going in about how they're trying to diminish the middle class. And I think when they diminish the middle class, it hurts everybody, especially in our business, real estate, because that was part of the American dream was you could own your house. You could dump that money into the house with inflation and stuff like that. You could use that house as pull money out, or you could use that and or get pull equity out and get other real estate properties. It goes to my next clip the last clip I'm about to play as well. So I think when they shrink the middle class, I think it hurts America. Period.
Oh, yeah. You gonna have rich and then you have poor.
Right.
And the ones that were in the middle class, the majority of them gonna be in that poor category.
Right, and the middle class pays the majority of the taxes, right?
Yep.
So it's gonna show up on the other side as well, right? And infrastructure and things like that, schools, roads, all of that.
National renters too.
So that moving retirement age to 70 is an entire discussion. I just want to put my 2 cents. I don't have any change. I got some dollars on my desk, y'all.
Put your
Bowling.
I don't have any change, but
Put that $50 up. Put that $50 up, Pat.
Every
Pat,
time they talk about
roll.
a government shutdown each year, I know you guys hear about it and see it on the news. That Social Security funding is typically that main topic. And I always tell my clients, who is going to be that politician that says, hey, I'm getting rid of Social Security, right? None of them's going to do that because that's going to be career suicide, right? And so they got to find other ways to fund it. And they typically do after they debate, so on and so forth. But what they do is they just kick the can down the road until the next year or the next session. And then they say, okay, hey, how are we going to fund it, for next year? So on and so forth. And so that's what this lady is talking about. From my perspective, she's saying, hey, we got to push that full retirement age back to 65 to 70. So that way we can keep this thing alive and going. But just like the guy said in the video, most people, that I work with, they say, hey, Patrick, as soon as I'm eligible at 62, I want to turn that sucker on, right? I've been working my whole life.
Right.
So pushing it from 65 full retirement age to 70, I think that's really extreme. It's really extreme, but it's something that they're going to have to do one of these days.
Yeah, sure. How's it going to look after the boomers are gone?
Right. It's something they're going to have to do one of these days. And the thing is now, if you're not retiring in the next 5 or 10 years, you got to create some kind of plan or create a bucket or stream of income like that guy from that other video today to support yourself, because that Social Security is not going to be there. And then one last thing before I wrap it up, in 2035, they're actually decreasing Social Security benefits. Those folks who actually receive their Social Security statement or their estimate, in that fine print on the second page, it says, hey, these are your numbers, but in 2035, there's going to be a reduction in benefits of this much percent, right? So a lot of people who will turn it on now and in the near future, the money that they think they're going to get 10 years from now is going to be lower.
Right.
It's going to be lower. And then the last thing that they do, they'll give you a increase for inflation. So you say, hey, like this past year, we get a 5% increase in inflation on our Social Security. But what they do is they increase the cost of Medicare by 17% and don't tell you. And they pay your Medicare out of your Social Security payment, right?
Right.
So you net down. So I'm going to get off my shoebox to say, I said all that to say this. They're not going to solve that problem. The only way they're going to solve it is by pushing it back, and then also reducing your benefits. And you talked about teachers earlier. A lot of teachers in the state of Texas, they don't even pay into Social Security. They have TRS, and they get screwed on that too, because it's not enough to live off of once you retire.
Right. And this is the problem too. You wonder why that most girls that's 19 to 25 are not becoming teachers anymore. They're becoming OnlyFans models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Baby had a question on here.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it.
What he said, here I say black owned business, but you have to ask yourself, what do you want your legacy to be? And my answer to that is like, if we don't do something to help our people, who will?
Right.
But that's the whole point. Yeah, that's the whole point.
Well, let me get on my soapbox since Patrick, because I was waiting to answer that question.
How many soapboxes we got tonight? God.
Well, we had 2 cents and 25 cents, and now we on the soapboxes.
Yeah,
Right. Right. I mean, I'm here to help everybody. However, I think I coordinated into this particular community and this type of melanin for a purpose. Everything's purposeful. I think there's a glaring need for leadership in this particular community. And I want to lead by example, not lead by a bunch of rhetoric and a bunch of hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. So everything I do is lead by example. I get men together, I get people together. We need to move on to one. We try to get them to move on one common cause. If we don't do it, our leadership is now. We Gen X for the most part, and millennials. It's time for us to lead. I think our pops dropped the ball. During that civil rights era, a lot of people integration. We got the front of the bus. We now we get served at the front of the restaurant. However, we neglected our community. This is what Kanye is talking about, that he's jealous. We have all the talent. We have all of the talent to dominate every industry except monetary and except communal. And I think we have the capability. We just don't have the leadership. So what I want my legacy to be, I want people to, when I'm gone, dead and gone, like, hey, he did it not only for himself, but he did it for his community. He didn't think of himself first, because I made my first million when I was 27. I've always had money. I stay with money. That's easy. It's easy to make money. But how many people I could put on to make money? How many people I can make like me? How many people I can make successful? That's what it's all about. You know, because I can sit at home and eat Uber Eats all day and eat good and watch. I can do that. I've been doing that. That's easy. But how many people I can put on? That's what I want my legacy to be. And yeah, not everybody. I help everybody. It's not just about serving the people as far as only wanting to help Blacks. That's not what I'm saying. I wanted to put us in position just like everybody else. Look at Mac. You and Fabian, you know, Mac put everybody on, but however, he gonna put if you look like him, he gonna give you, you know, look at Billy and all the rest of them. He gonna put you, he gonna look out for you. You know, so if you look like him, he gonna give you a little extra. All right, he go that carpet. You know, but it just is what it is, man. I think
that's what you're supposed to do. Like nepotism is real.
It is a thing.
I think. Let me say this, and I'm off. I think we need to snap out the dream. I think all of us, just because we're in the same skin, are not gonna come together. I think the people that want to come together need to come together. Everybody's not gonna want this thing for us. It never was like that. Even before the Caucasian got on the planet, we all wasn't one big group. We all had our separate tribes and separate nations and stuff like that. I think the people that want to collaborate and want to come together, that look like us, need to come together and show them how it can be done. And I think from there, everybody else will follow. But I'm not pioneers get the arrow in the back. I'm not scared to get the arrows in my back.
Whoa.
So I'll say it like that and I end it like that. That's my legacy.
But how many people you help? Right?
Yeah, I mean, look at my mentees. You know, look at Fabian could attest to that. Fabian, put in the chat room on how many people I trained at Gallery Furniture that's making $100,000 plus. How many people that I trained at Gallery Furniture that left Gallery Furniture and now going to other people call lots on their own business? And Sean P, if you watching this podcast, go ahead and chime in too. That how you went from Gallery Furniture and now you making you run your own business that you learned from me sales. How many people learn from me sales and that's making their honest living, 6-figure income they wouldn't have made anywhere else. So go ahead chime in, Fabian. And Sean, if you watching, you go ahead chime in too.
Fabian got crickets.
You know, so tell them how many.
I hear what you're saying. So okay, 15 to 25. Okay, all right.
It was more than that, but you know, I go ahead and give them that.
Right. I do what I do to help people. I was a student of finance. I love finance. I always wanted to be a stockbroker, so I went to school for it. But my thing is that I'll serve whoever I know that I can help and who's willing to accept my help and guidance and partnership, right? So I'm with you. I'm with you there, B. But then after that, creating that legacy is my thing. Is I'm going to try to support all the causes that I believe in and try to do good in this world and just put out good karma. And so for me, that's the legacy that I want to leave, right? No matter what that cause is, if I believe in it, I'm gonna support it.
Right. If you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for everything. You got to stand for something. Who are you and what do you stand for?
Right.
That's what a man is.
Right.
Here's what I want my legacy to be. I want my legacy to be like this here. I want Barry B's great-great-grandchildren to say, that Lemons, that was a good guy. I heard about it. My great-great-granddaddy said he was a good guy. That's how it works, baby. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works, though. Really.
Right.
Touching others and helping others, helping somebody other than yourself be what they can be. You know?
Right. I think if not only what I've done so far, but what I game plan to do. I'm answering Fabian's question, but ask yourself if that legacy is going to pass from generation to generation. Not only what I've done so far, but you know, my digital footprint, you know, and then my books that I wrote, you know, stuff like that. Also my other esoteric stuff that I published and stuff like that. When people look back, yes, I wonder if it's going to generation to generation. Also, this with my own child and stuff like that, implementing that. Also, I think if we one of the first to do this, and we get a successful group of men together of color, and no man, I'm not saying just black, but of color, together, that's putting people on. Of course, that's
What
going
color
to
you want to be, B?
I mean, it don't have to just necessarily be black.
Once again, y'all about that money. The other color ain't got enough. The other color might have a little more.
If you look at it now, first of all, we could go into that.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry, man.
We could go into that. You know, we saying on a cognitive meaning. I could get into that. There's no real black and all that, but anyway, you know.
The pigment skin color, the pigment of our skin color is a little bit darker than others. Other than Patrick and
heavily melanated beings. Heavily melanated beings.
You know, heavily melanated. Corey and Patrick is not heavily melanated.
And I would say, like, how the legacy pass on from generation to generation. Shoot, how did the Rothschilds do it?
Exactly.
Like, it's centuries later.
Right.
And that wealth is passed down. The legacy is passed down.
Right.
Like, we ain't got to create it recreate the wheel, reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Find out what works and duplicate.
Right. I give what's behind CJ Head, Greenwood Realty, the black-owned real estate company that we building. You know, so it's from the ground up, from the mud. You know, so you the dude say EXP, Greenwood's named after Greenwood, a street in Black Wall Street that was all self-sustained, you know, and it was all black millionaires back in the 20s. So that's the whole legacy we stand on. That's our ancestors did that, so we got to do greater.
Right.
Here's what I want, man. I want CJ's great-great-grandnephew lemons, right? And when they mention lemons, they say, I do that favor because I know your people were good people, and they do the favor for me. That's how it really works, B. That's how it really works.
Like my great-great-granddaddy told me about a deal they had together back in the day.
but at the end of the day, that's how it really happens, though, dog. When somebody say, I'm going to do something for you, not because it's you, but because I know your lineage and I know your blood is good blood. And so I'm going to do that for you. And that's how everything happens, dog.
And that's just how it used to be back in the day. Your grandma sent you to the store with no money.
Yeah, with that piece of paper.
Right.
With that piece of paper here.
Right.
Just get that to him. Don't say nothing. Just hand it to him.
Right.
Hey, so what about this one? I know a handful of people who built a business like you guys are doing, and when they retired, they gave the business to the employees.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like from a legacy perspective?
For real.
Yeah, that's a different way to do
right.
it.
They didn't give it to their kids. They said, hey, everybody's been working here. Y'all got equal share. It's y'all's. And now the business it's been 20, 30 years.
Which I can understand that because
growing and thriving.
They got more invested in the business than they handed over to somebody that just want to suck all the money out of it and let it go down.
Right. Yeah. Right. But that was a legacy play as well. I was using that as an example.
Right.
But
you just believe if they did that, they got something big over there for their seed and for their heirs too.
Correct.
Right. Before we hop into this last clip, I just wanted to say this. Look at gallery. Mattress Back legacy is going to be not only gallery furniture. You know, as soon as he kicked the bucket, James gonna sell that thing. But but his legacy was being a philanthropist. You know, and big sports gambling and thinking big. You know, that's going to be his
all about saving you money.
That too. You know, that's his slogan. But he's a hell of a marketer, mentor. Billionaire, so spending a lot, sports betting, the whole nine. That's his legacy. That's what he's gonna leave down. That's what he's gonna be known for. When people study him 100 years from now, that's what they're gonna study. Same thing. Mattress Back got his thing. That my thing is gonna be, hey, not only we got it out the mud as far as real estate. I formed a coalition, and we got these people of color together working together on one accord. That's what I want to create. That's how I've always been. I don't make any apologies for that.
But you so politically correct. People of color don't want to exclude nobody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I won't just say black because I think Fabian thinking black when I'm saying just black. Nah, it's not just black. I'm talking about people that's been systematically oppressed. You know, so let's get the
The
last
Asians
one out.
was systematically oppressed. Are they worried about us?
Right.
The
But
Latinos were systematically oppressed. Were they worried about us? But yeah,
some
you
of
want to
them-
sit here and tell us people of color, so you can include anybody that has a melanine skin tone. No, it's about
Right.
us, ain't it?
well, this everybody's so mixed up nowadays, so you don't know.
Oh, there you go, B. You're killing your boy. You're killing your boy.
What is that? What's the breakdown of that? What's it invested in?
The 0.3 is my house. The rest of it is in the stock market, primarily mutual funds. That does include both my husband and my IRA. Each of us have over $1 million individual IRAs, and those are Roth IRAs.
And what's your age?
I'm 59.
How much of the 4.3 million was inherited? You heard me just talk about that.
Ha ha ha! I am from a poor family.
Zero.
Zero.
What was the range of your household income through your working life?
I was a millionaire by the time I was 37. When we had our first million, we were millionaires by the time we were 37.
How'd you do that?
Unfortunately, this was before the baby steps were out there. And so we had to figure it out ourselves. We read a lot, but also we came down to a very simple strategy. We had two incomes. We lived on one and we paid off our debts with the other. And then once we paid off the debt, then we started investing.
What was your income during those years?
Between 40 to 50K.
Wow. And that's how you got the first million.
That's how I got the first million.
What is your net worth?
4.3 million.
So, damn, it's a good one to end off, man. I know y'all don't want to hop in all that at the same time, man. It's a good one for Patrick and all that. You know, you heard her. They dual income and about 40, 50,000, and made their first million at 37. They read a lot. They learned how to invest.
And
Now
that's
they
what,
work
that's what
4.3.
everybody's been screaming forever. It's like, live beneath your means until you get some passive income, and the passive income can pay for the things that you really want. But instead of going that route, you're taking your little check and trying to buy the frivolous stuff now instead of investing.
Right. And then it's 37. Wait, hold on. Well, 37 to 59. So that's 47, 57. So that's 22 years they made that. They went from million. They quadrupled that in 22 years.
Here's the thing that I got from that. I got two things from that. You know what I'm saying? One is they had a plan. They had a financial plan. I see social media videos where they talk about, you know what I'm saying, every single year they get together and talk about what their goals are for the year, which is what a lot of people don't do. The second thing is sacrifice. That's not what a lot of people want to do financially. Everybody, hey, look, I got a raise. So you know what I'm saying? I'm itching to go buy this new toy that I want or that I need, or take that vacation that I need, or whatever the case may be. They sacrifice one person's salary to live on one person's salary so that they can save and prepare themselves for retirement. Two big goals, you know what I'm saying, that I think helped get them to where they are now.
Yep.
But you're talking about a small number of America, you know what I'm saying, that's willing to do that. But I think it's so important to do that.
So and then at the same time now, even if you look at, they were a married couple, you got a lot more people getting divorced nowadays. So families are being split, means resources are being split. So you can't even use that strategy.
Right. Well,
and then you got this.
You
got this new thing now. You got this new thing now where people look at marriages as a business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, look, what's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna survive together as long as we can. You know what I'm saying? If we make it to the end, then we'll figure it out. And I don't think, you know what I'm saying, that's a recipe for success.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way to look at it like that. I mean, it is a business, but it's supposed to be pooling your resources.
It's definitely a partnership.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and chime in since Patrick ain't saying nothing yet. This is a tailor-made financial advisor clip here.
I knew you'd have a couple questions for me, so I was just waiting on you to throw them at me.
So let's say they started working at 18. So it took them 18, 19 years to make $1 million, living off of one salary. Then it took another 22 years to quadruple that.
Right.
So they started with a long-term strategy. So 4.3, even I don't think $4.3 million is enough to retire on, me personally. Because that ain't, if something happened, I gotta still have some nice insurance or something in case something happens. But
something happened like what?
Yeah, so don't forget in retirement. For them, they probably cool with it. But I need
for them to retire today, $4 million is decent.
Yeah, I need
They're
10
not
of
gonna
them
have to
things.
sacrifice anymore, right?
Yeah,
They
I
did
need
all the
about 10,
sacrifice.
15 of the things. Me, I need about 10, 15 of the things. So that's why I grind like, I play like there's no tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I need about 10 of the things. I need to be a pentamillionaire, at least 5 to 10, I would say. Pent to deca, I would say. But I'm gonna say this. I agree with Corey said. It's all about planning, but it's all about discipline as well. I think that's the thing that most people are lacking. I think most people get caught up into social media, keeping up with the Joneses. I think they get it, buy into the hype. I get burnt out, so I want to take this vacation. A lot of people are working just for pleasure, and they don't have a long-term strategy as far as how to win the game. They just existing, so the whole thing is to win the game is to serve your purpose and not run out of money in the meantime. Is that simple enough?
Yeah.
Serve your purpose and not run out of money in the meantime. So I think you can't get it to, because when you start working, man, the money you got your savings, that's compounded, but at the same time, you don't have that income coming in. Besides, we just alluded to earlier, Social Security, which they're gonna cut. By the time we get of age. So you gotta prepare for that. I I say this on the podcast and I say it again. If you used to making $100,000 a year and you trying to live 20 years from 65 to 85, that's $2 million. As if nothing else happens. It's raw back to
not counting inflation.
It's really 30 years now.
Right. So yeah. So
we planned from 91 to 95 now.
Right. So you got to have that game plan.
Minimum.
It's not a joke, man. Because man, I met CJ this weekend, and I woke up sad. They couldn't walk. I ate a Chewy's burrito, man. Boom, my foot swelled up looked like a Brontosaurus burger or something.
You got gout, man.
Yeah, like the gout, man. I had King's disease. I couldn't walk, so yeah. So I'm still not hobbling around. So when you get older, man, you don't know when your time to you're gonna be immobile or something happens or something like that. So we need to. I mean, we wait too late.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to start now. You don't have to have $1 million to have I think Corey said that a couple of weeks ago. You don't have to have $1 million to get your financial advisor. Start now, man. You don't know when you that foot on that back go. It's a wrap.
And then Fabian said, today's society, husband and wife must work to make ends meet. I mean, that's possible. But if you think about other cultures, you'll see them with multiple families in one house, spreading that debt around instead of trying to struggle just two people.
Right.
You collectively attack it.
That's one way. Or get many variety hustles. I was telling Fabian a while back about getting in the dog game, and that's what I'm trying to introduce to a lot of people as well. Dogs is passive income. I made nice. IRS probably watching them, but I ain't gonna say no number, but I made nice amount of income last year off of just dogs, man.
Several different ways.
Huh?
Several different ways. Learn how to work that stock market.
Right. My book's still selling.
You
Make
make
stock market.
money if it goes up or down.
Yeah, man. You gotta have websites. I got websites that that make money. Man, you gotta have a variety. As we get more and more creative with the ways to make money, you need to dip your hands into more and more different ways that you can make money. And it's not optional, it's mandatory.
I done thought of many ways. Get out the game and get paid.
Right. So
there go jukebox.
I was waiting on it.
That was jukebox. You know what I'm saying? Look, I know you would come with a song quote.
At least once this week, right?
Hey, come on, at least one during the podcast. It was coming.
So
you gotta break up the monotony. Because B can go forever. When he get on one of his soapbox, he can go. So you gotta crack a joke here.
I can do a whole. I used to do a whole hour by myself.
I watched your whole hour show. They were solid.
Yeah, I can go a whole hour, man.
We gotta
and not be boring.
I still want to go back to you and your money taken from people of color, but then you always talk about us as black folks. You know what I'm saying?
I would like
You just threw me
ideally.
for a loop on that one, B. I thought
No,
you was all about the
ideally.
Greenwood Black
So,
Power.
so I give you
I
an
was gonna
example.
say it loud. I'm
I give you
black and I'm
example.
proud.
I give you example.
Not no color.
I give you example. I've been knowing Fabian what like 10, 12 years or whatever. If
Fabian
Fabian
Latino?
wanted to invest with us, he's from the hip hop culture, but he
Oh,
happened
God.
to be.
Come on, now. Anybody who listen to rap,
Nah, but it's
hey, y'all know what I asked him? Say he'll take my money over your money, CJ. That tells you right there. No offense, Fabian, but damn.
But my friend, would you turn them down? That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm talking. I mean, come on. Where's the moral grounds here, dog?
Nah. I'm saying that don't
Am I
forget.
the only one?
Let's not forget that it
Hey,
takes.
you know, I never ordered the comprehension book he mentioned to us on the group text, and I tell him that when I don't understand. So y'all didn't order.
Hey, Fabian said, "Well, I gotta be like that."
Right. Don't forget, man, that without the help of the abolitionists, we'll still be in different positions. So it takes,
Oh, now he wants to help with the abolitionists. I could have sworn.
Right.
nobody
like
has
the Asian folks did. Did you not mention that about the folks in Chinatown? Am I mistaken?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm confused, B.
I don't see why you confused. It take everybody. It take everybody. I'm not turning down nothing but my collar.
Send down a link for the book again so I can get better, man. Please, I just got to get better, man.
I'm not. I give you an example that I don't know if you know. Back in the '90s, Gaddafi was about to give us $1 billion.
Give who $1 billion?
I thought he gave Farrakhan money.
Yeah, he was about to get. Now they blocked it, but they was about to give Black Americans $1 billion.
So give Black Americans $1 billion. So how was the Black Americans going to identify as Black Americans? Because the melatonin in our skin. So that means Corey and Patrick won't get no money. They ain't
What?
He say what?
I'm getting me a check. Getting me a check.
You missing the point.
I read an article recently that they were trying to do reparations in California, and it was it went to a vote, or was going.
I heard
to
it passed. I thought it passed.
Or the House. So they have a designation for Black people, whatever that is. That's California.
Right. My point is that would you have turned if they would allow Gaddafi to get that money, you would have turned it down because all right, well, Gaddafi, you're a little bit shade lighter than me, even though you're African. I'm going to turn that down.
Here's the thing: Africans don't even claim us as much, man. So I mean, we're the only people.
That's my point of what I'm saying is that help wherever you could get it. If you're down for the cause, I'm down.
Right. I'm going to miss your point. I'm going to miss it on purpose for this reason. We are the only people we can sit here and debate and discuss why we are the way we are, but we are the only people that cannot export anything from another country that's ours.
What do you mean?
Period.
I don't agree.
If you're Pakistani, you can go back to Pakistan and import things from Pakistan and export it there. If you're Asian, you can go anywhere in Asia to do the same thing. Us as a people here, if we're not accepted amongst our own of the country that we quote unquote built, how are you going to tell us that we can go take money from everywhere else and try to do something with if you don't want to take money from each other because you feel like Gaddafi is a light-skinned African, he's going to take his $1 million?
I'm confused on your point.
I know. I'm confused on purpose.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. I was tracking you with the export.
Yeah,
I was following you up until the end. And then you lost me at the end. Hey, well, back to the video before my bedtime. The video, that husband and wife, they made a decision. Hey, we're gonna live off one income, and the thing that they focused on income on that conversation, but really, your probability of success always comes down to how much money you spend. It comes down to your expenses, right? Because if you make $1 million and you spend $1 million, what do you have left? Nothing, right? If you make $10, you spend $5, you still have $5. And so that's what this family did for 20, 30, 40 years. So they managed their expenses and they put the rest of that other person's salary to work, which allowed it to grow. It was hard to believe that they had $4 million in a Roth IRA. But what they had to do, because Roth IRAs are capped, you can only put a certain amount in each year, right? Even with compounding growth. So what they did was they took some of their tax deferred money, like their 401ks, 403bs, whatever kind of work they did, and they did Roth conversions over the years, right? So they paid the tax on those dollars today while they were, maybe in a higher income bracket. But now that they're retired, they have tax-free money from that Roth IRA. So it sounded like they had a really good strategy, but some of those numbers were a little bit hard to believe without actually looking at it in detail. But the big takeaway, the husband and wife, they lived on one salary, which means they were really keyed in on their expenses, and they didn't do much necessary spending along the way unless they treated themselves every once in a while, and they put it to work.
Let me piggyback and say something controversial.
As usual.
As usual. I got to push the envelope.
Yeah, per usual.
Per usual. I mean, hey, Ringling, what is the Ringling brothers say? There's no such thing as as long as you spell my name right. So the controversy sells, man. We're so sells, man, nowadays. But I don't think that this is really I really believe. So I don't have no problem with saying that. I stand on it. I think you need to choose the right partner.
That's very true.
Oh yeah,
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
I think
controversial.
That's very true. That's why I'm choosing now.
That's
why I'm choosing now.
Oh no, you can't say that. Female.
Hey, I'm gonna say something even more controversial than that.
Well, let me finish my point. So maybe I'll get controversial after I say this next layer. I think we choose too much on the outside as opposed to what's inside. And when I mean inside, I mean in between them ears.
Oh yeah.
So we're looking more at the physical instead of what they hardwired.
True.
If you meet them their first date, they talk about what you gonna buy me, what's the cash out. That might not be something you want to settle down with that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think we don't know how to choose the mate and wonder why you're not stacking properly. But I think the key how they was able to, she was able to sacrifice and be disciplined and live on that one salary. If you got a woman that want to go to the 3-4 trips a year, you ain't gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to stack like that. If she want to keep up with the joint, you want to change out the door. I want a steel door this year, and I want the deluxe sprinkler system. And you constantly spending stuff. You're not gonna be able to stack that money like that. So you got to choose the right partner.
Oh yeah,
right.
To deal with.
Right. And it's even more than money. It's even more than money.
It is. I'll take it a step further, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women these days, you know what I'm saying, want to be kept, right? You know what I'm saying? They want to be live at home wives and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that as long as that's the family plan. That's the plan between you and your partner. But I think a lot of women don't necessarily want to help out. They don't want to go to work, which is what she did. They had a two income household, so they was able to do that.
Right. I mean, but technically, we supposed to keep the woman. So that's why I grind like I do. If I don't want my wife working for another man, that means that he the husband. I don't want her to submit to nobody but me.
He can't control her, right, B?
No, he can't. I want.
That's exactly where he was going with that. That's exactly where he was going with that. Come on.
FR. I don't want nobody else barking orders at my wife.
I can understand that.
That's my job. My job is to lead. I'm gonna lead her. I don't want her following no other man lead.
Okay.
Hey, Barry, tell her how you feel. Tell her how you
Barry
feel.
said, all right.
Okay.
I don't want her working on no other man's dream except my dream. That's it. I don't want her working this because think about it. She working for that boss man. That's boss man dream. That ain't my dream. So I need to have.
That's the world. That's the capitalist world we live in, man. You might have to do that for a few years before she can fully focus on your dream.
Or you could ball and get the infrastructure together before you find a wife. That's why I'm a little bit later. I think we rush and we get the peer pressure early, and we ain't together yet. And then you gotta pick for what you got, and they're not willing to wait.
So in my experience, I typically find that, especially with older couples, it's typically the wife who wants to take trips or do stuff for the kids financially, right? And the husband's like, hey, we did all this work and we grew this money over our lifetime. If something happens to me, I want to make sure that you're taken care of. That's typically the argument that I hear sitting across the table. It's like, hey, babe, this is for you when I'm gone, right?
Right.
And that's typically the conversation that I'll have with the family. And sometimes I show them, hey, okay, maybe you can do this. The numbers make sense. Or sometimes I say, hey, he's right. You can't do this if this is what you need if anything ever happens to him. But it's definitely goes to what somebody said, choosing the right partner. And then you got to realize what's important. Somebody said it. Somebody said it. But so that's typically what I see with a lot of clients. I have a lot of meetings like that, talk about what their plans for the year when we're doing income planning. And that's typically the conversation. Hey, if something ever happens to me, we need to have this bucket or this pool of money. That way you'll be okay. Because historically, and it's a fact, women outlive men. I don't know what they do, but they do, right?
And we usually date younger.
That too. In addition to that. So yeah.
Right. So
that's typically what I come across. That's the conversation I have a lot.
And what you're gonna do if you got to have the right partner, so she don't spend it all up, and you ain't got nothing left for the kids or the next generation.
Right.
But that's when you give a Patrick and get stuff in trust.
Right. That's another thing. Get your stuff in trust so you make sure your kids and grandkids taken care of. In case you wild out, go meet OJ or something. And then OJ.
Oh man.
She wild out, she go be OJ, take all your bread. While you kick the bucket, you rolling over in your grave. So you gotta have that trust in place, man. That will and the trust, man.
Laid up with Jody.
Right. She done laid up with, with the most interesting man in the world.
All right, y'all, I got to go.
So yeah, man. We'll see
We've been long tonight. Is all that? No more videos, or we're done?
No, that was the last one. Don't forget. Man, great. Baby, say you appreciate that question. Hope on hop on the next one, gentleman. Great podcast, man. Hey, tell a friend, man. We need more participation. Make the night, but we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
All right.